as I stated earlier, my name is Anna. I go by codename Mom in the King community. So I am here to talk about parent support groups in the RGB, specifically parenting kids as a queer parent, but also parenting kids who are possibly queer. Just really quick, I just wanted to say I am polyamorous. I do have multiple partners. I'm actually here with my boyfriend today. Well, husband is at home with the children. We are open poly. Our children know that we're poly. I have a 13, soon to be 10, and 5-year-old. I had to think for a second because of that, and on top of all the bonus kids, which would be my partner's kids and my husband's partner's kids. They're very much our life, and part of our life, and know what we're about. We are very open about our family, not so much about the cake lifestyle, but everything else. So, sorry. So I was born in McAllen. I did not grow up down here though. I grew up mostly in Chicago and Tulsa, very much big city, but I did come back for my senior year and graduated from Rio Hondo. Please do not hold that against me. So where I currently live now, because after college came back with my husband who's a veteran, my boyfriend who's a veteran. I think I have a type. And it's been very challenging parenting down here, being as open as we are and more progressive minded. Last year I actually came out as bisexual to my parents. My community already knew, my friends, my closest friends, other family members knew, but my parents did not. Mind you, my younger brother, who's 7 years younger, has been out since he was 16, is gay. And when I came out as both bi and poly, my parents had a fit. My mom was more supportive, but my dad and my stepmom specifically were so hateful and mean, it completely ruined our relationship. They threatened us with legal action, everything from wanting to take the kids, to trying to call CPS. They actually called the cops on us too for a welfare check because they thought my husband was making me do this. And it was really hard at the time. We had our community of people around us, but it was really hard to find other parents who have kind of gone through the same thing. Sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, my bad. What we notice is that there's a lot of biases and judgment down here, right? As far as parenting, even within the LGBTQ and kink community sometimes, I personally get judged a lot from swingers or other couples who are queer, but they find the poly thing weird. Well, how can you do that? How can you expose your children to that lifestyle? Well, we're not exposing the kids to sexual stuff, so to speak, right? Kids are kids. They don't know what's going on in our bedroom, but to me, our kids are thriving. They're very open. They understand like who mom and dad is, and they have bonus mom and bonus dad who are part of their lives. And to me, it's better to have more love for kids and be supportive, right? But again, I think what we struggle with is finding other parents to talk to about these type of things. I'm lucky that my boyfriend, who's been poly for a while, I was able to talk to him and his wife about how they raised their kids this way, and that was a good support. But it's hard sometimes because like my 13-year-old, when he graduated from elementary going into middle school, he specifically requested mom, dad, bonus mom, bonus dad there, and he was so happy. My parents did not like that. They refused to come if our other partners came. Who does that to a child, right? And so my thought is that it would be great if we had more queer parenting support groups. And since being part of STEP, somebody has reached out to me and let me know that there are a couple of Zoom things. So because I'm in the Rio Hondo Harlingen area, the other thing is it can feel like sometimes there is a desert and a lack of resources. You either have to go to McAllen or Brownsville. And as parents, sometimes that's really hard. Like tonight, my husband would have loved to have been here. We couldn't find a sitter. So someone has to stay home with the kids, especially when they're younger. I think it would be great if we could start maybe like some sort of community, not just a parenting group. But I was just thinking off the top of my head here, somewhere where we can talk about these things and get advice, but like a community resource list of queer story time at the library, or books that talk about having two moms, having two dads, having other, right? Not everybody grows up with just mom and dad, which is something we do our kids. The hard part too is that, when your kids start to show that they're gender non-conforming or things, like my youngest really loves Disney princesses, right? And he loves coloring his nails, and it doesn't make him any less, it doesn't mean that he's gay, it doesn't mean whatever, he's 5 and he likes what he likes. But recently we've had the trouble where he goes to school and he comes home crying because teacher told him to tell mom to take off your nail polish because boys don't wear nail polish. And how do you talk to your 5-year-old and tell them, no, it's okay. That's not a rule. Teacher's wrong, right? The person they look up to. How do you find community in that? And I agree with you that sometimes it's hard to tell other parents or out yourself sometimes because they look at you and they judge you, and especially being a bisexual woman, sometimes I've been told things like, oh, it's just because you're greedy, you want more than one, and that's just simply not true. Sorry, I think I've run out of my time here.
No, you sit down a little bit more.
Okay.
You got 30
yes,
seconds.
my solution would be book clubs, being inclusive with playdates, legal resources I think would also be really good if there was, I don't know, a list of lawyers or something like that that could also help with legal counsel for issues like this. Like last year when we were going through all this with my parents, I did not know who to go to about it. And ultimately, Pedro, who's not here today, who's a really good friend, told me, they can't take the kids from you just because you're queer. But we live in Texas, and the possibility of that happening does feel like some days it's terrifying to be a parent. I think that's all I have. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay.